Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Ratana. This is a blue collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Also help you learn something about the wine world. And today we're going to get into mead or honey wine. And the reason for this is I had a sales rep stop by. He shared a bunch of these with me. And I go, well, this would be kind of fun to do a mead episode. And I've seen an uptick in mead sales at the store. It seems to be like a lot of thing that guys and girls for that matter, between the ages of 25 and 35 to 40 seem to have a great interest in. Sort of a niche sort of thing. It's honey wine. It's basically honey, water, and yeast. There's a lot of hobbyists that make mead. Actually, tell you the truth, mead can make itself. If honeybees leave their hive and the sun beats down in the hive and starts melting the wax and there's water involved and then there's some yeast, you can get mead. So it's probably an easy thing, an easier thing for people to approach in making something rather than wine, which might be a little bit more difficult. There's fermenting the grapes, etc., etc. So that'd be kind of interesting to do a mead episode. Mead is the oldest alcoholic beverage known to mankind. The oldest mead it comes from China, dates back 9,000 years. It predates wine and beer. So it's an old beverage. A lot of people get into it, some people don't. Not all meads are sweet. We have to remember that. We do have a sweet one here, but they're not necessarily sweet just because they're made from honey. And it was this blackberry mead that I tried from Sky River out of Washington State that really helped me to kind of appreciate that just because it's a honey wine doesn't mean it's sweet. So we're going to get started right away with the Sky River blackberry honey wine. 90% honey, 10% blackberries. This rolls in at $28. So we're not talking super cheap, but honey's not super cheap. We'll give the glass a little bit of a rinse here. So blackberry honey wine from Sky River. I think they have a tasting room down in Woodinville, Washington. I think they actually make their mead on the Skycomish River. At least that's what I understand. So let's see what we get on the nose. Interesting. Honey wine. Well, it smells like blackberries. Go figure. And it has a little bit of that honey essence on the nose. It's not super floral. It's not super expressive on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. So, see what I like about this one, and I've already tried it, so I knew what I was getting into. It has really nice flavors. The blackberries come through nicely. The honey is there, but it's not a predominant part of the flavor profile. It gives it some nice texture in the mouth. But this is dry. I've tasted Rieslings that are sweeter than this, and people get nuts over Riesling. There's some nice acidity from the blackberries there, but this is just really, really nice wine. It's very easy to drink. It's delicious. What more could you want? I could see this with some sort of a dessert, probably. It would match up well. I think you could also have this with some Asian noodles because of the sweetness, just like a Riesling. A lot of times when you're having a spicy dish, you have Riesling because they offset each other, the spice and the sweet. They do. So this would be exactly that. I could have this with a spicy Thai dish or something like that. It would be really good. I mean, not like I have a new catalog of experience. I do like the blackberry. It's so good on this one. But I'm going to just go simply B+, A-. This is a solid mead. I think it's really good. Now let's move on. Now this is a very well-known mead. It's called Viking Blood. The producer is Danks Mjord, sorry. Dansk, let's just go Dansk. Based on a recipe from the year 1700, Nordic honey wine with dried hibiscus and ginger added. 19% alcohol, so these have a little bit more alcohol to them. This rolls in at $32, really cool bottle. I sell a lot of this at the store. We have some big time mead guys that like to buy mead at the store. And I see a little bit of an increase, so it's kind of exciting. That's why I'm doing this episode. You know, I've never really gravitated towards mead, but I'm more interested in it now than I ever have been. Color is really golden on this one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, the ginger comes through, the hibiscus comes through. Very much expressive on the nose, very herbal on the nose, as you would expect. It has kind of a interesting, almost a reductive kind of element on the nose, like, well, it reminds me a little bit of copper pennies for whatever reason. Like somebody threw a couple of pennies in this honey wine with the hibiscus and the ginger coming through big time. Yeah, let's see what we get on the palate. This is definitely sweeter than the blackberry honey wine. It has some beautiful flavors though. It reminds me a little bit of a herbal tea steeped with honey. That's what it's like. It's very delicious, very nice, very balanced. I mean, if you're in the mood for something a little bit sweeter, delicious, with some herbal elements, with the hibiscus and the ginger, this is a beauty. And like I said, if you were having a spicy meal, something with a lot of spice, this would be perfect with that. If you can blend those flavors together, that would be really good. I'm digging this one. I'm going to go. It's so hard for me to grade dessert wines because, you know, they're just really good, but I'm going to go straight up A on this one. I think it's a very solid expression. I understand why people like it. This would be all by itself, just a kind of aperitif. Really nice flavor. It's very expressive, very layered, very complex for a honey wine. I like it. I'm going to go straight up A. First one, B plus, A minus. I'm going to go straight up A minus. Very well made mead. Now, Sky River also done one called Sweet Brochet. Brochet is a French word that means caramelized. Sky River Honey Wine Sweet Brochet Mead. Washington State. Ancient drink of kings and poets? Kings and... He says poets. Sorry, guys. Poets. Hey. Now, most of these should be drunk within a few days after opening, but traditional mead can actually last for a couple weeks after opening. So, once again, when you're talking about these sweeter wines, you have a little bit of time to play with. When they have things added to them like blackberry or hibiscus, ginger, you're going to get a little fluctuation in the flavor as they've been open longer. It's recommended that you put them in the refrigerator so the oxidation doesn't change the flavor that much. So that's the cool thing about a mead, I would think. It's like a bottle of wine, you get away with a couple of days. Some people will go longer. But generally speaking, you try to consume that bottle within a day or two, where these can go a little bit longer. You can stretch it out just a little bit, which, you know, when you're spending, like this one is $25. When you're spending $25, you can stretch it out just a little bit. Now this one has really extreme golden kind of brown sugar colors to it. Extremely golden. Caramelized, you can only imagine. I tried this one before too. I thought it was just extremely delicious. It smells like honey. Just saying. Yeah, it smells like, you just put that honey on your sourdough piece of toast. Yeah, big time. Let's see what we get on the palate. Again, it's like taking a spoonful of honey, but it has a little bit of acidity to it, so it calms down that super sweetness of this one. This has the flavor is so good, but like I said, it has this kind of, almost like a citrus kind of acidity that's there, that kind of calms that sweetness down just a bit. I like this one. Very, very good. Very well made. Very delicious. 10 in the delicious category. All of them are 10 in the delicious category. This is straight up mead from caramelized honey. So you get a real more intense honey flavor. But like I said, there's a freshness. There's an acidity underneath that keeps it balanced. Once again, I'm just going to emphasize over and over again. These will be great with some sort of spicy Thai or noodle dish. This one would be good all by itself, of course. All of these would be great by themselves. If you just want to have something after dinner, kind of spoil yourself a little bit, have a little bit of, but they're not too sweet, which is what I like about them. They're not over the top sweet, they're balanced. This is probably even sweeter than this Brochet style mead. So there you have it. And I'm going to go straight up. I'm going to go A- on that one. I think they're all very well made. So if you want to experiment with mead, remember, you might have to spend a little bit more money because the base product is honey, but it can last just a little bit longer. And what a great thing to have with a spicy food or just by itself, kind of after dinner sort of thing. Great stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how many of you have actually tried mead. How many of you are a consistent mead drinker? I want to know. Tell me in the comments. Is this something you go to every once in a while? I don't know. It's sort of new to me in the wine world. I never really gave it much attention, but now I am. Thanks for taking a little time of your day. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see what's coming up. I have some interesting episodes I want to do, more on education than actually finding great wines, but we'll use wine to emphasize points like balance, integration, things like that. I'm looking forward to doing that. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.